Thank you very much. It's a pleasure and honor for me to be here consecutive year, and I'm very grateful for IPA to be here to arrange this extremely interesting event. As a lot has been said already on the Asian transportation routes and markets, I will reduce my presentation mainly to describing the environment, the major actors in Central Asia, and first of all, I would say that and the environment, general environment, which the Asian consumers have to enter at this stage of development. Well, first of all, there are a few regions, overlapping regions. When we speak about Central Asia and give assessments of the resources, partly it's about CIS, which includes both Caspian, meaning East and West Shore, the Caspian, and Central Asian states. And on the other hand, we speak about strictly Central Asia, which covers only the states to the east from the Caspian. As you see here, although they are not, as you know, there's the estimates are always very uncertain, but there are general trends which already have been covered here, so I'll go quite quickly, showing that there is first of all, there is potential in Central Asia, and there is obviously a potential, and there is a demand in Asia, so there are no questions. There are all no question that the potential is there. However, the Caspian Sea basin actually divides more than it unites at this point. There are two shores of the Caspian, as I said, east and west, which is characterized by different gravitation trends. West, which includes Azerbaijan and South Caucasus, towards the EU, towards the west. East, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, towards China, Asia. Although there is a suspicion that Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan would love also to get the access to the Western markets. And there are trends of Central Asia quickly integrating, but this is a separate story independently of Europe. So Caspian Sea Basin is a dividing factor due to few factors. First of all, unresolved legal status, various historical identities of the western and eastern shores, conflicts, political regimes, Iran, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, ownership, disputes, international sanctions towards Iran, lack of maritime activities, particularly during the last century, including civilian and trade, transportation, infrastructure, competition between producers and producer transit states, like between Turkmenistan and Azerbaijan, if and when they decide to join their efforts. Russia's and Iran's policy preventing trans-Caspian pipelines and militarization of the Caspian. Azerbaijan seems to be a key country on the western shore, and if you look at the national sources of its reserves, it's quite impressive. And that makes Azerbaijan a key actor in diversification of the EU gas supply from the Caspian. The EU as an actor is trying to diversify its gas supplies, particularly after consecutive crisis with Ukraine, Russia-Ukraine, through the concept of Southern Gas Corridor, which includes a number of options and which are competing with the Russia-backed South Stream project. I will not stop too much on this, but we will see the map. And all of them, more or less, mostly these are the competing pipelines of Russia-backed and European EU-backed. And in this game, Azerbaijan so far has been playing a key role because after the discovery of the CNIS gas field, Azerbaijan is taking full advantage of turning into a gas power. The interesting development, though, happened. Here is the planned Trans-Caspian pipeline, which is, as you know, now under big question, and that was delaying both the solution of the Nabucco pipeline, which eventually, and this unresolvedness of the Trans-Caspian transportation basically, and Turkmenistan's possible joining the pipeline that led to the aborted eventual version of Nabucco, but this is a special the other topic. And however, we should be aware that the 90s and the 2000s, these are two eras in the behavior of the actors, producers in the Caspian. And it actually marked a shift in Caspian producers' energy policies. It went from politicization of energy when the major oil contracts were signed, especially by the President Alieva, to commercialization of state, which is taking place now. So Azerbaijan moved from the oil diplomacy in the 1990s to promotion of national state oil and gas company into 2000s, particularly and first of all in the gas projects, playing one of the leading roles in providing for energy security of European Union states. What's happening on the east shore is something else. So Turkmenistan gas exports east or west. Turkmenistan's reserves are significant. They even say that united reserves, gas reserves of Turkmenistan and Azerbaijan are around 30 TCM, which is enough to provide for energy security of, let's say, supplies, gas supplies in four directions: China, Russia, EU, and India. What's happening that at this new stage, the national companies are becoming major agents of the state policies. And if you look the boosting national, as they say, resource nationalism of Azerbaijan is just enough to look at the SOCAR's national state oil company in its investments abroad. So it's just not the full list. And only in Turkey by 2018 the investments will reach $18 billion US dollars. So there are big fights still ahead, and Azerbaijani state oil company continues to get involved in the broader geography. This is definitely a shift from the previous policies because the commercial elements is playing a much more important role in the policies of national producer states. So this has already been seen. What happened, and this is another illustration of the changing energy policy of the local producers, is that 2 years of long negotiations between Turkey and hard negotiations between Turkey and Azerbaijan on pricing and other issues related to transportation eventually ended up in an amicable solution changer there to the southern gas corridor, Kanat Trans-Anatolian Pipeline, which takes Azerbaijani gas from CNIS through the Azerbaijani and Turkish territory, is actually an unexpected solution for the European Union. On the one hand, it does provide EU independence from Russia's gas export monopoly. On the other hand, it provides Azerbaijan with independence both from the EU and from Turkmenistan. Azerbaijan gets almost full control of the CNIS 2 gas transportation to Europe and enables Azerbaijan for the first time to sell its gas to EU customers through its own pipeline. Notwithstanding the benefits for Turkey, who sees this project as a significant step towards the turning into the energy hub rather than transit. So that's what now remained from the original Nabucco, which was owned by 6 partners, European Union partners, and Turkish Potash, but no Azerbaijan was included. Now it's reduced to half of it, but it takes the gas. It will take gas from the borders of Turkey to the eastern markets and further. Now we come to, so it's about EU, and now about Russia as an actor in Central Asia and Caspian. Well, Russia has its own weaknesses and advantages, but it seems that weaknesses are more important in this context. Well, first of all, there are flaws of energy soft power concept, and particularly I would like to quote Milov, who spoke about investment crisis, increasing state encroachment, which undermines growth, and lack of technology and capital to acquire assets abroad. Monopoly on major gas export routes is still the kind of advantage that any torpedoes certain projects successfully. Improved Russia-Turkish relationship is actually a positive move, but obviously there is a waning power state-owned Gazprom, and the pressing need, at least by the expression of Putin recently, that there should be reforms, and it seems that in the energy industry, it seems that state ownership reached a certain level when it's becoming counterproductive. Trans-Caspian pipeline by Russia is unacceptable. There were reports that Russia even threatened militarily to intervene if the Trans-Caspian pipeline built. And as a result, Russia's political and economic influence in Central Asia states stagnated. Well, slightly different, or let's say quite different, the situation is China. In decades, it was increasing its presence in Central Asia. And you know, there's a list of projects which were quite successful. And I think the key to this success was refusing global security role in favor of Russia, prioritizing bilateral commercial and political interests. Energy geopolitics for China is energy politics. Central Asia states' main advantage shifted with the globalization of the gas market from resources as geopolitical bargaining tool towards the border with China as towards the bordering with China as a main tool, main market for global energy consumption growth. So here is one of the success stories, pipeline Kazakhstan, China. Yet there's problem related to Central Asian market integration, and there are certain weaknesses related to the trade regime and there are certain infrastructural problems, such as the transfer expensive growing resource nationalism leads to tough negotiation behavior and less openness. These are two proposed pipelines which were already analyzed before me, so I will rather skip them. India has a certain advantage and disadvantage. I mean, like the EU and like Russia and China, India depends on transit states to get an access to Central Asian resources. It is a democratic actor, like EU. Relative facility of energy companies were recently actually ceased to exist because two recent acquisitions by the Indian companies in Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan are quite impressive and probably mark a activization or the different approach to Central Asia resources. Russia and Iran blocks transit past the Caspian pipeline, but this might work as an advantage to the pipelines to the east and supply as a result. In general, more pipelines secure greater peace. Win-win mentality should prevail, ideally, and geopolitical domination approach should diminish. Objective factors may work in this direction. It's a very much nature of a gas era where those actors who are trying to work at the global geopolitics level, they're basically losing to those who are working at the regional, bilateral, and more pragmatic level. And there are subjective factors which may promote the win-win mentality, because all states, Central Asian and Caspian states, they're characterized by rather artificial stability based on oil revenues. And once it's replaced by a political process, it may lead to a more pragmatic behavior. Big regional powers, also those who are spoilers in the region, will liberalize and reduce then, as a result, geopolitical ambitions. There is a definitely change, as I said earlier, and it's Margaret Benson, that new technologies which lead to unconventional reserves shift geography of production and reconfigure interdependencies. Other factors which are listed here: ownership of resources, assertiveness of national oil companies, they're a factor in investment decision. The Central Asian leaders use the investments and export diversification of those as best way to political and economic sovereignty and elite enrichment. But at the same time, you have compression of geography, and that's happening through China's railway expansion. That was a very good process, very good expressed by Parag Khanna. And it happens faster than political institution can afford, by his opinion. The other factor is increasing insufficiency of the current energy security conceptual framework. And as it is usually defined as uninterrupted energy supply at a reasonable price with environmental considerations, and as most of the producers in Central Asia are authoritarian or semi-authoritarian regimes, political factors and domestic impact of the energy security or ownership of energy security is becoming more salient. Certain actors' activities in the region are facing increasing contradictions and problems, clashes. between the agendas of promotion of the energy interests and the interests of stability and promotion of reforms like EU agenda in Azerbaijan. So we are not speaking about just the ownership of producers versus consumers, but it's also about whether the energy security, the country producer, is understood as the one which is owned by elite only. So we will end up in duality of integration. It's commercialization of the Central Asian state actors in the energy security behavior, and at the same time regionalization of energy policies caused by the new unconventional resources, and at the same time globalization of ideas who never cancelled yet, which was not cancelled yet. This increasingly affects the issue of ownership of domestic and impact of energy security in the state producers. Well, in the end, I would say that success of access to the Central Asian resources for the Asian consumers depends on a variety of factors. It's of course global market, trends, economy, resource availability, its geography, which is extremely important, political factors, conflicts, resource nationalism, rising ambitions, need of revenues to support patronage by the elites, which affect both bilateral relations, energy policies of the Central Asia leaders, and export towards stability and security, increasing role of small states as game changers, Azerbaijan and Central Asian states, and regionalism or commercialization trends. Most importantly, understanding the changing nature of the great game and compressing geography of the Central Asia, which work in favor of the most dynamic and adjusted to these changes actors in the region. And we could compare this global security geopolitical approach of Russia and Central Asia versus China, which definitely doesn't speak in favor of the former. Thank you so much.